Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how I make albondigas. And this one isn't the soupy broth version, it's the thick red sauce, gravy-like version. Let's start by boiling some tomatoes, onion, 5 or 6 guajillo chilies, about 3 arbol chilies, and a handful of garlic. I'm going to set it in my blender to cool down, but I'm also going to add a pack of sazon. And this not only adds great flavor, but it also adds really good color. This is a cup of the boiling liquid, and we're just going to let it cool down. For my corn tortillas, this is the brand of masa that I use, and we're going to go in with 2 cups. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt, about 1.5 cups of warm water, and a teaspoon of oil. I'm going to mix with a spoon to start out, and then I'm going to get in there with my hands. And you want to knead this dough for about 5 or 6 minutes. So your dough should be soft and pliable, sort of like the texture of Play-Doh. It should not stick to your hands. Then we're just going to cover, let it sit until we're ready for it. Now let's get on with our meat mixture for the meatballs. You want the onions to be finely minced, and I put in 1 whole onion for mine. But you can add in as little or as much as you want. And next I'm going to chop my mint, and yes, it is this much mint that goes into this recipe. However, do not worry, it is not going to be a super minty meatball. It's actually quite mild when it's cooked. Okay, that was 1/2 cup of rice that we're going to wash and drain. I grated in some garlic. And now normally breadcrumbs are used in this recipe, but for any meatloaf or meatball mixture, I always do a slice of bread soaked in either milk or half and half. And it just makes the meat so luscious. Here we are with some ground pepper, and I'm going to crack my egg. This is about 2 teaspoons of beef bouillon powder and a pinch of salt. My Mexican oregano I'm going to go easy with because it's potent. A heaping spoonful of cumin and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. In goes the drained rice. And now we're going to mix everything together. Once it's all mixed, you want to go ahead, cover it, and then you want to let it sit and marinate for as long as you can. I started to blend my sauce and I realized that I forgot the chipotles. I'm putting in 2 because I also put in arbol chilies, which are also spicy, but this is what it should look like. So in a pot with some oil, go ahead, pour in your sauce, and then you're also going to add 2 cups of broth. I actually just used the boiling liquid from the vegetables. But first I poured that boiling liquid into my blender and washed that out because I got to get all that goodness. And these are carrots going in. The only vegetables I added to this were carrots and zucchini. And I'm just skimming off some of that foam on top. Okay, let's make our meatballs. Now this recipe I learned is the Oaxacan albondigas style. It is a little bit different from the other styles of albondigas that I have seen and learned, especially with the use of like ground cloves and the boiled egg that's implanted sort of in the middle of each meatball, which is absolutely brilliant because the flavor that it brings to the meatball is just amazing. So this batch for me always makes exactly 16 meatballs. And as you can see, I'm just building a little well in the center of each little meatball, and then I'm just dropping the egg right in. Okay, and these are ready. I'm going to season my sauce now with a little chicken bouillon and a pinch of salt and some black pepper. And now the meatballs are going in, and then these are going to simmer on low, covered, for about 20-25 minutes. And then I'm going to add my zucchini, and it's going to cook for an additional 10 minutes. Okay, time to make our tortillas. This is the home stretch. This batch for me makes about 14 medium-sized tortillas. And I just use a large trimmed Ziploc bag so the tortillas don't stick. Then in an unoiled pan, you just want to drop your tortillas on. And you just want to make sure that they don't burn. And then straight into the tortilla warmer. And guys, if you guys eat a lot of tortillas at home, I recommend getting a tortilla warmer. It is a necessity. Okay, albondigas is done, just adding some cilantro, and time to plate up. This is some white rice that we love with our albondigas. And let's serve up some albondigas, and look at this, guys. Oh, I can't even explain to you how glorious the house smelled when this was cooking. That sauce is just so rich, so intense, and so velvety. And I'm just fixing my husband's plate because he was just stalking around the kitchen waiting. Yep, and this is how we eat it. I hope you like this recipe, and I hope you'll follow me to my next video and come eat albondigas with me. Take care. See ya!